There are few game series that can rival the heritage of Alone in the Dark. This latest iteration is a reimagining of the 1992 game that helped define the survival horror genre, which uses the foundations of the original game to build a new tale filled with noir detective and cosmic horror influences. From its A-list cast to the dark, atmospheric ambient music, here is how Alone in the Dark has been reinvented for modern horror fans. Taking place in the American South in the 1920s, Alone in the Dark's gothic setting may be familiar to legacy fans. But beyond the tree-lined estate and the southern drawl of its residents, this latest entry in the series tells a whole new story. When Emily Hartwood receives a disturbing letter from her Uncle Jeremy before learning of his untimely disappearance, she recruits private investigator Edward Carnby to help discover his whereabouts. Their investigations lead them to Jeremy's last known location, the mysterious Deseto Manor, a home for the mentally fatigued where the shadow-lined walls and strange inhabitants are not all that they seem. As they discover clues and pursue leads, the true horrors of Deseto reveal themselves, opening up portals to nightmarish worlds filled with dangerous Lovecraftian monsters. In addition to the paranormal horror story, this new entry explores other deep Southern Gothic themes, such as the mistreatment and misunderstanding of mental health. Described as a love letter to the first game, this fresh story incorporates characters, locations, and themes from the original 90s trilogy, but no prior knowledge of the series is required to enjoy the full experience. Alone in the Dark's blend of noir mystery and paranormal horror captures a unique moment in time between world wars, when the golden age of Hollywood was just beginning. To bring this interbellum period to life, Pieces Interactive has cast two of the 21st century's most recognizable A-list actors who lend their voice, likeness, and thespian prowess to the playable protagonists. Jodie Comer of Killing Eve fame plays Emily Hartwood, the woman on a quest to find her missing uncle, and Stranger Things star David Harbour portrays private detective Edward Carnby, who aids Emily in her search. The beginning of the game presents players with the choice to play as either Emily or Edward, but it may be easier to think of this decision as picking who to play as first. Depending on their selection, players will experience the story from different perspectives, encountering completely separate cutscenes and levels, as well as eliciting different reactions from Deseto's residents. Players will need to play through as both Emily and Edward if they're to see all that Alone in the Dark has to offer. Over 30 years of video game advancements means that Deseto Manor is better looking than ever, but the improvements don't stop there. Alone in the Dark's classic survival horror experience now features modern mechanics befitting of a 2024 release. Eldritch enemies will fall to good old-fashioned bullets, but when your ammo runs out, and it will run out, throwing flammable bottles or swinging a melee weapon may be your only way forward. While they give their trigger fingers a rest, explore the many rooms and hallways of Deseto Manor and the nightmarish worlds they lead to, as Emily and Edward continue their search for Jeremy. Weapons and items found strewn about the manor can be collected to increase their chance of survival, while trinkets and letters written by residents provide valuable insight into various personalities and history of the estate, and handily are read aloud by their author.
I did it! I crossed the thresholds to my intended destination without a focusing device.
But at the core of Alone in the Dark is a focus on puzzles, which reveal more and more about the twisted goings-on at the Grand Residence as they're solved. If you want to feel like a real detective, switch to old school mode to remove puzzle hints and extra guidance systems, so you can figure out solutions for yourself. The first Alone in the Dark was the precursor to the survival horror genre, and established so much of what we expect from horror games today. Recognizing the significance of the original's legacy, the development team at Pieces Interactive collaborated with renowned creators to evolve the series' seminal brand of creeping dread. The deep, psychological story comes from the mind of Mikael Hedberg, the writer behind Soma and Amnesia, while regular Guillermo del Toro collaborator Guy Davis aided the team with monster designs. Underpinning the whole disconcerting adventure is a dark doom jazz soundtrack from composer Arnie Berger-Zeuger, made in collaboration with musician Jason Conan. The result is a chilling score filled with haunting melodies. This audio backdrop creates an unsettling atmosphere and heightens the level of fear as Emily and Edward descend further into the madness of Deseto Manor. Play as Emily and Edward to solve the mystery at the heart of Alone in the Dark when the game launches on March 20th for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. For more on survival horror, stick with IGN.